So yeah, Addison's Halo. What were your thoughts on them?
Um, I really thought they did a great set. I think they really fed off of the crowd for as much of it as we got to see, but like they even got to the point where they started going off like into making these little pauses, sort of like it in between the song or like during a song would sort of get into a lot of feedbacky noise kind of things, which they didn't do the other time that I've seen them.
Mm,
So I don't know if that was like a because they had more time or what the deal was. But yeah,
yeah.
I thought it was a great show. Um, yeah, and then we ended up like taking off before any of the other bands played because we went to go see the OCs. um, and then that I believe that was the night after that was the big show.
Mm. When all the big acts were there.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a cool show. um, I pretty much like all of the songs that I wanted to hear Allison's Halo play. Like as far as going to see a show and being like, oh, I really hope they play those.
Mm.
I mean, they only did put out one record, so
They
they're
had the EP with the song "Dozen" on it,
yeah,
which I really like that one. That's still in the Dream compilation.
yeah. No, I really enjoyed like they played that. And then a few other songs that unfortunately I just managed. I couldn't even actually get close enough to the stage
Mm.
to record. Um, and it was like I was sort of at a weird
Mm.
slope. So I eventually,
Sometimes it's good to be far back.
yeah,
Like you get a bit of a different audio perspective. Like sometimes the reverb comes through more when you're further back. Like the sweet spot's normally like in the middle, a bit further back.
yeah. Well, I think definitely for getting audio with like the video, but I think as far as getting better video, like if you don't actually have like a video camera
Mhm.
or something that you can use as that and you're just using your phone like you're not going to get great close-ups of anything, which has been a bit of a learning curve for me,
Yeah.
where you just sit there and you're like continuously have to hit the press the screen to get it to focus on
Mm.
things. um, but yeah, so
Bit
that was a
tragic.
cool show. And then I you cut out.
Yeah, like dragging when you zoom.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's it's definitely it's a bit. It's kind of a pain, you know. Um, but so to move on from that show, they'll although I will say this, they'll whoever they get to do the light show for this is like it's very fun. I imagine if I were still in that phase of my life where I thought psychedelics were a good idea, that would
Yeah.
have been like the
Yeah.
ideal place to do that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
Um,
Lots of strobes. Yeah.
well, it was that, and just the background was very psychedelic,
Mm.
but
Yeah, but there's like flowing stars going around kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
stars and like weird patterns, the
Mm.
swirlies for like a
Yeah.
lot of their show. They had old video footage or
Mm.
old, it was probably old 12 millimeter home film footage
Mm.
of like people's vacation like movies around ostriches.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it kind of makes sense though because that's the album cover for the second album, the uh,
Yeah,
the Wild Days and the Youthful Salon or whatever it's called.
yeah. Well, I mean that's kind of the third album because they like that their first quote unquote album is it's like it's
Yeah.
called Cats of the World Volume 2. And that's much more of a noise album. And then they have the one that Tall Ships is on, and then they have
Yeah. I think that's classified as an EP.
it's kind of weird though because it's got 8 songs on it.
Yeah. That's quite long for an EP. Yeah.
I get some of the songs are very short, but like
Hmm.
I, I like you can think of bands like Pavement. Their songs almost never go beyond like 2 minutes and like 50 something seconds, you know? Like it's
Yeah.
very rare that you get a song that's not like 2 songs put together that's longer than, 3 minutes. So it's just kind of weird that like they obviously were like, oh, these songs are too short, so we'll just call it an EP.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that was the thinking. Yeah. Who knows? Yes. Pretty wild.
And
But
they put it out on
audio pattern.
Tang.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's like a punk rock record label. Like, so I just think they didn't really know what to do with like classification of anything, and they were like, "Oh, it's too short."
Yeah. And
It's not.
I guess, yeah, there was a bit of like hardcore influence or post-hardcore influence in that Tall Ships album or EP, whatever you want to call it. Like, because I think in the actual song "Tall Ships," there's a bit of shouting, isn't there,
Yeah,
from
he's
Damon?
it's him screaming "tall ships,"
Mm. Yeah, so I think
which
that there's a bit of post-hardcore in there.
yeah,
Um,
definitely. Although ironically enough, now that's like very common in like more modern
yeah,
shoegaze.
yeah, with Teenage Wrist and oh, well, what's the other one? Title Fight, like stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
even I feel like there's I feel like there are a couple of Slow Crush songs that actually have some
Mm.
screaming going on as like the male vocals.
Yeah, there
And
is a bit.
there's definitely some with nothing.
Mm. Yeah, not too much on the oldest, not like Tide of Tomorrow though, but
No, no, like
I
they're
thought
they're
that was their pure shoegaze album. I thought Tide of Tomorrow, but
yeah,
yeah, I get what you mean. Like certainly songs from the Great Dismal had a lot more shouting and a lot more hardcore stuff.
yeah.
Dance on the Blacktop as well, probably a bit more. Yeah, yeah. It's
Well,
a shame that Brandon left. Nothing. I thought he was really the heart and soul of that band. Remember Brandon Setter, the original guitarist.
yeah,
But still, I think they got that Coil guy from Cloakroom, haven't they? I think he's good.
yeah, yeah. I mean, think I've seen them like once randomly opening for somebody they I don't think should have been opening for.
Yeah,
There are a lot of shows like that. That those used to happen a lot more frequently. I remember going to shows and like a local country band would play.
yeah.
Like one of the slots, you'd just be like, okay, post punk, punk rock, country band, and then some big named indie band. And you'd be like, what?
Mm. Yeah, it's a bit strange. Keeps it interesting though.
Yeah, no, it definitely does.
Mhm.
Um,
So
so
yeah,
yeah,
what about like Ariel? Did you catch them?
yeah, I caught about 5 of their songs. I think that I missed it like 3 or 4 or possibly more of them. Um,
They're probably the band I want to see the most, actually. Like,
yeah, one of them had broken their leg at
wow.
some point. So
Oh yeah, I think I
yeah,
remember that story. It was the not Jeremy, but the other guy, the other
yeah,
guitarist.
who's like started playing the bass six a lot.
Mm.
Um, for like uh I mean, I don't know when that started, but like now that I've seen him do that, I'm like now I hear it everywhere, and like in so many of their recordings,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah, that was what the Cure used, wasn't it? Robert Smith.
Yeah.
He had one of them.
Um,
Well, so does he use it in like a hybrid, like bass and six-string electric kind of way?
yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of feel like though that's where they work best, and weirdly, that kind of goes back to where they like they're sort of that the most popular thing. I think it's a Glenn Campbell song where he's playing the bass line and then he does like the whole solo. He hits the choke switch. Um, but they were like on tons of recordings.
Hmm.
Like the Beatles have used them, and the Beach Boys. Trying to think of like a lot of people have used them. I actually have one. I think it's a great instrument, and
Yeah.
it's super helpful for writing because you can kind of you can play both parts, you
Hmm.
know. So you know
Yeah.
how it works, and you don't have to switch between an instrument.
You got the lows and the mids and the highs all together.
Yeah, no, they're cool. I mean, they definitely. I just have a Squire, so it's gonna take a little work, but they they gave me a discounted plec service for
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
So if it weren't for the overly glossy like Squire, like why did you put like 5 gallons worth of this damn like uh glossy finish? So it's just like trying to play. It's a little bit like
Mm.
the second your hands get any kind of moisture, they just stick to the back to the neck.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, other than that, it's a great.
Yeah,
I,
something
I wouldn't.
never tried it. So yeah, it certainly intrigues me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fun.
They're a bit
Um,
like a resonator guitar as well. Quite fancy trying one of them at some point.
yeah. Oh, I'll if I remember, I'll try to send you a link. There was a guy who no longer makes them, but he was making these like crazy resonator guitars with like 3 bridges on them and stuff.
Wow.
They're like,
Three
and the sort of the
bridges.
final form of them was like just crazy. It was like 14 strings, but
Yeah.
like
Wow.
it made sense. You were like, oh no, I would totally use those. Um,
That's wild.
and then he just quit making them one day, and I was like, oh,
Yeah. Ah.
I was like, I was like gonna try to convince my wife to get me one for my 50th birthday.
Yeah. Ah, that's a
Instead,
shame.
I got a sitar.
Sitar. George Harrison. Yeah. Could do that
Um,
kind of stuff.
yeah, I've always loved
Yeah, I do
sort
like.
of
I like the sound of the sitar.
it's
I like how the telescopes use it in the flying song.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's interesting. I got into it as a kid. And sort of the first sitar I saw ever in person was like some rich people that we knew had gone to India, and they just were like, "Oh, let's just buy a sitar as a souvenir." So they had one. Half of the strings were broken, but I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever."
Yeah.
And so I've always wanted one, and then I just randomly stumbled upon one that actually sort of works for me as far as my needs go. Now I just need to learn how to properly play it.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like even if you don't, like it's good to
Yeah,
explore. You can. It's kind of a thing you just let drone out, isn't it? You can let it drone and stuff, so you don't necessarily need to know how to play it as such.
yeah,
You can use it as like a feedback kind of thing, like it's some kind of drone.
yeah. There are a few really cool instruments for that. I mean, that's sort of that kind of music and like sort of obscure '60s
Mm,
psychedelic stuff.
yeah, it's a real
Um,
'60s thing. Yeah.
and then punk rock, and then sort of the zero wave is really what got me into like noise music, which then got me into shoegaze.
Mm.
Um, so a
Yeah,
weird
really cool.
circuitous route of things, but
Mm.
it all sort of makes sense.
Yeah,
Like
it's good that you finally got here.
yeah, I mean, well, I got there like a long time ago, and then just like
But
shoegaze kind of until I started.
I'm just trying to point at your pedal board.
Oh yes, well, I mean the wall. Hey,
No, I'm just not getting synced up here with my finger. There we go. Yeah, I just really like the you got the collection of stomp boxes there. That's really cool.
yeah, yeah, I've got more reverbs that I want to admit to my wife.
Yeah.
But I swear I use all of them.
Yeah,
Which I
see a big muff up there.
yeah, yeah, I don't use that as much now that I have the Death by Audio Apocalypse fuzz. It's got
Nice.
5 fuzz circuits built
Wow.
into it, so it's just like, and they go anywhere from, you can make it like fairly conventional, even down to like a distortion or overdrive, or like
Yeah, that's
some of
cool.
them you
The
can make
tapped.
that like disgusting sputtering, like
Mm.
just unpleasant noise sort of thing.
Yeah.
And some of them give you like just feedback.
Glitchy.
Yeah, they're cool. Um,
I got the Sonic Annihilator feedback pedal from them.
oh,
That's
you
really
did?
cool. Yeah, I got that one. Sonic
Nice.
Annihilator too. Um, yeah, they do lots of crazy stuff. Oliver Ackerman,
Yep.
the Place to Bury Strangers.
He
That's
he
the
was
guy.
part of the Providence noise scene.
Mm.
Back like when I was still living in Boston. Like, and just straight weirdly one day it was like while I was still living in Boston, like a friend of mine who knew him just because she would go photograph shows and stuff, like in spare time or whatever, was like, oh, he went off and moved to New York, and then just out of nowhere, like they became, first his band became a thing, and then like he started making pedals, and then he opened a venue when they were like making guitars at one point.
Mm. A busy guy.
um I have to admit the guitars were pretty cool looking. I don't even know if they ever actually sold many other than to like friends of theirs,
Mm.
or people they knew in bands. But I really wish that had been a feasible business, because like there were some that were, they had the offset. All of them had the offset trim built into them. Um, but some of them would like have 7 different lipstick pickups,
Nice.
and it was just like knobs everywhere.
Mm.
They look fantastic.
Yeah,
Um,
must check them out. Actually, I never knew they made guitars. I just thought they did pedals. So
yeah, I
nice.
like he was doing a tour of like one, like the place that they were doing everything at, and the club, before it got shut down. Like I
Mm.
saw them on something, and then I've seen a couple of them like on social media floating around.
Ah, nice.
They're
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. I'll
I mean, I
take a
wish they
look.
were actually like a real thing, but unfortunately, I don't think they
Oh,
really.
it's just like prototype concepts.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think I
they're
think it
not for
was like,
sale.
well, we want to start this business, so we're making some, and then I think they just sold some to their buddies or whatever,
Yeah,
probably.
but perhaps they were just too good that they wanted to keep it to themselves. They're being selfish.
Well,
They didn't want anybody else to steal their sound.
I mean, that would be something. Every once in a while, you hear about like some artist being like, "No, I don't want anybody to hear this."
Yeah.
It was, what was it, like the Wu-Tang Clan? They only made one copy of a record or something ridiculous like that.
Mm,
Was it
wow.
them?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous. It was like sold for millions of dollars, but then like all sorts of shenanigans happened with it.
Wow.
Yeah. Stuff that I'm just like, wow. I mean, it
Yeah.
was right around the time that those ridiculous the pictures that they were selling to people, and they were like, "Oh, it's like a non-fungible form asset."
Yeah.
Oh god, what were they calling
Jesus.
them? They were basically like gifts from like PC Paint, but people were investing tons of money in them as like an investment. God, what were
Yeah,
they
I'm not sure.
called?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Uh, really not
Uh,
sure.
yeah, a friend of mine for a while was thinking about investing in them, and I was just a little bit like, really? I'm not so sure that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's all a bit overvalued. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he like harvests crypto and stuff, so you know he's yeah. I'm like, he's much more he's financially way better off than my family is. But he's into finances and stuff. So,
Yeah, cool.
but every once in a while, he like just comes up with some new crazy fun sort of fun sounding scheme for like how to make a bunch of money like in a legally,
Mm,
in a legal manner, but also like reap the most. Some
yeah,
people
yeah,
are just great with that stuff.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, should we get back to levitation? And
Yes.
so, yeah, what's your thoughts on Ringo Death Star?
Um, I really like them, although they played more of their like newer or sort of, I don't even know if they're newer.
Uh,
Um,
2020 was their last album.
yeah.
They did like a double
Uh,
album, didn't they? It was pretty crazy. Had like 20 tracks on it.
yeah. Although weirdly it plays through really fast. I got it for my wife for
Yeah,
Christmas and then it never shipped, so I ended up buying
really.
it when we were
Oh,
at Levitation for her.
yeah.
So,
Shame it didn't ship. Kind of
yeah.
reminds me of my Swerve Driver album, Future Ruins, that never came. But
There,
that was the Pledge Music. That was some corrupt thing. That was. But
I bought the first Fleeting Joys album, like the reissue, for like an obscene amount of money online,
mm,
and then it just never shipped. And they were like, "Oh, it turns out we don't have it." And I was just like, ugh.
yeah, probably because maybe the labels are too small then.
Yeah.
Like
I
like
just
I think a lot of the shoegaze kind of labels, they kind of find it hard to sustain themselves, like Saint Marie and like Shore Dive and Sonic Cathedrals seem to be quite. They seem to be
they
in a
seem to be doing
good position. Yeah, they seem to
um
pump out a lot of stuff.
yeah, like
But the
what's
bedroom band,
Ariel is on
Claire Records, well they were.
well the last album I think, or like the whatever I drawing a blank on what it's called, but they were on Field Trip Records.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Fell Trip. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, I feel like they do like hardcore releases and stuff like that mostly.
yeah,
I kind of feel like maybe that's the way to go. Um, if
possibly.
you
Yeah,
if you want to put out vinyl, is like go to one of those things.
just kind of combine it with all kind of alternative rock kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That's like a bit bigger umbrella that way. If you combine it with all alternative rock,
yeah. I
then
mean,
easier
it's a
for
little bit
shoegaze to be found.
like factory records, but
Yeah,
hopefully hopefully that won't collapse. But some of those like hardcore albums just sell like an obscene amount of copies.
mm.
I don't know if like people are moshing in their bedrooms and then like smashing copies of records or something. So they're just always needing to buy
Yeah,
more or what?
could be. Yeah, always being caught in a mosh. Yeah, Just smashing the vinyl in the mosh.
But I feel like that's almost like a metal stereotype. Oh, right. So back to the Ringo Death Star. Yeah, they played a lot of the grungier stuff,
Mm.
which I feel like a lot of the crowd, it felt like that went out for them specifically were also out to see Glare, who their
Mm.
newer stuff has like some songs that I would just call straight up grunge,
Yeah,
um, which is weird. Um, it's kind
yeah,
of it's just it's strange, and then the other songs are just really shoegazy, almost to the point of being like slow dive esque, you know?
yeah. I've heard them, and it is that big difference between they got the two sides are really distinct. The
Yeah,
two sides of their catalog. Yeah,
yeah,
you could say that about Nothing and Wire as well. But
yeah, yeah, definitely. So I mean, I really haven't gotten to see any of those bands, so I can't really attest to what like their shows are like in the States. If you're running into a bunch of weird straight edge kids at those
yeah,
shows.
yeah, it's probably a good mix, isn't it, of the usual shoegaze crowd and sort of heavier music, pogo kind of people.
Yeah, yeah.
People who want to jump up and down in the audience. That's what I mean by pogo.
But I feel like yeah, that there was a they did a lot of that stuff.
Crowd surfers and that.
I there were a few attempts, I think, but they were by people that should not have been attempting it, and I'll just kind of leave it at that.
People riding on wheelchairs.
Yeah, yeah, it was a little bit like, no, hon, the rascal's not going to get off the stage. Like, it's not going to work the way you want it to.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, so yeah, I guess they played songs from. Did they play lots of Color Trip songs? Which is
yeah,
that's my favorite Ringo Death Star album, and I
I
think
mean,
that's the most famous one. The one with the is it Elliot holding up the jazz master like that to the lights, and it's a great cover photo.
yeah, they definitely played a few songs off of that.
Like Kaleidoscope, and that was probably played.
I think so.
Imagine
And there were a
Hearts.
couple of songs that they played that like I didn't even recognize till like later on, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, huh.
And
So
Pure Mood from 2015 was pretty good. That had Big Bopper on it and Heavy Metal Suicide. That's a fun song.
they played that.
Yeah. And
So
what was the other big one from that? Summertime is a good song, but that was from their first EP, I think, Sparkling.
yeah, it was. Oh
Oh, I like Guilt. Guilty. The one that Alex Gayrin sings. Guilt, isn't it? I really like that one. That was a big
yeah.
single from Pure Mood.
So I don't know if they're ever going to put out any more music. I mean, I know the male singer's got like I think he's on like kid number 3 or 4.
Wow.
So
I did see some there was a photo of them in the studio together. Actually. I did see something that was only like a few weeks ago.
oh, huh,
I think they are. I think they are doing something.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice to have somebody come through. So there's a bit of a shoegaze scene in Dallas, and then even stranger, the more sort of conservative in the Dallas Fort Worth area, being Fort Worth, has like tons of shoegaze shows there.
Hmm.
But it's like an hour away, and with having kids, it's just kind of tough to pull that off, you know, because if we want to go
Yeah.
do that, we've got to get a sitter and blah blah blah.
Yeah. So what's about Drop 19s?
They were good, although weirdly, I think they only played one thing off of Mayfield, even though they had
Hmm.
been sort of teasing releasing it. Um,
Yeah,
so that was
that
strange.
surprises me. Yeah.
But yeah, they were really good. I mean, I'd seen them, I think maybe 3 times before that show, but they played what kick the tragedy and did the
Yeah.
whole video thing, which was cool. And I think the only reason they actually used my footage of that was I was the only person that managed and holding their arm up for all 11 minutes of it.
What? You
Um,
had like a sign saying like that was me in the video or something, or what?
no, no, nothing. They just
You
play
had your
like
arm up, just
yeah, I
celebrating.
just recorded it the whole time, and
Oh,
they
right, just
just
holding the camera. I get you now. Yeah.
yeah. So that I think that was how that ended up on like them
Yeah.
reposting it. It was cool though. I mean, my wife was definitely more excited than I was.
Yeah.
I was just very much like, oh, all right, cool.
I mean,
I
I like the songs on Hard Lights. I thought that was a really good comeback album.
yeah, what it was. And they even played the songs that like you definitely. I mean, oh god, what's that one song? Um, it's like very like dun 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 like.
Um,
And then what's her face sings the vocals on it.
oh, yeah, I think I know the song, but I'm just trying to think of the name. Ah,
That
yeah,
I would
it's like
that was
Tarantula, and then you got like, wow, what's it called again? Damn, I'm gonna have to look it up on YouTube.
but they played that, which was cool. And then there was the weird
Oh, the price was high.
yes, yes. So they
Yeah, I like
played
that.
that. That was fun. Like I'm not gonna lie that like that was definitely fun to see that played.
Yeah, I like
Um,
Scappa Flow and T. They were highlights of the album for me, and track three I think was good. Which is called trying to remember. It's been a while since I listened to it, but I really liked Gal. That's it. Yeah, Gal, the third track.
yeah.
That's a real slow burner, lots of reverb in it. Yeah, beautiful track, and another one, another. That was a really good one.
Yeah, it was a good reunion. It was like a really good comeback album. And now I'm just hoping they don't, have like a second album release before Mayfield became a, official album or whatever. That's sort of as disappointing as their following album was after
Mm. The National Coma album. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's not great, but yeah, no, I do hope they do record a second one because I think they're back in the flow, and I think they know what they want to be now. Whereas
Yeah.
back in the '90s, it was like they were always trying to chase trends. Like everybody was panicking, trying to find the next trend. But now it's
Well,
like it's such an open field; people can do what they want.
well, I think a lot of that just has to do with like you're not beholden to what the music press says anymore.
Yeah,
Whereas back then if you wanted to make any kind of money you were dependent on sort of pleasing them as much as possible. I mean, think about like Slow Dive kind of got like both of their like first two albums were sunk by the music
mm,
press.
yeah,
They were just like, nah, we don't like them.
yeah. I
you know
100%. Yeah,
I also feel like Alan McGee probably didn't help matters too much with that.
yeah. I still like him though.
Yeah,
I
but
I
I mean,
I read his books and he seems cool. He does say some good things about the old shoegaze bands.
yeah, I think it was just they were too drugged out of their minds at the time to really
Yeah,
be properly running. I mean, I feel like it just that happens over and over again.
yeah. There was a bit of amateur running of it. I think it wasn't
It's like, oh,
professional
we're
enough.
starting to do really well. We
Yeah,
signed Oasis. Hey, let's just waste all of our money on drug parties.
yeah, yeah. Pretty much. Um, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. Going back to Levitation. Um, who else is there that we haven't talked about? Well, we're at
Let's
Slow
see.
Dive, I guess. What was their
Yeah.
set like?
I mean, Slowdive was cool. The drummer wasn't there. I don't know what was going on with
Oh yeah,
that.
I think Simon Scott was ill or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So he wasn't there, so they had somebody else. I would say the disappointing thing to me, and I mean, we saw them maybe 6 months prior to that, or not even, or maybe we did. I don't even remember. Um, things are a blur when you have
Yeah.
kids. um, but they basically they played the same set, which was sort of a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really like that really. I like them to change it up a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel
Yeah,
like
the thing is they don't. Every time I've seen Slow Dive, it's the same stuff. They don't really go into just for a day. Apart from Catch the Breeze, that's the only one they do from that album. So they restrict themselves to the Souvlaki tracks and a couple from the 2017 album and and just a couple from Everything Is Alive. Um,
yeah.
isn't it just like I think they play like Chained to a Cloud, don't they? And from the newer album. And what was track one called again?
Yeah, they play that one too. The where they've got the like where they they've been bringing the modular synth around now, set up.
Yeah, yeah,
So like,
they use the Roland synth quite heavily now. Yeah, Rachel uses that a lot.
oh no, they've got a Euro rack now. If you
Do
look
they?
to
Oh
like,
wow.
so they've like because that's where they get a lot of like the stuff, especially from the newer, like pretty much all of that like sort of rando that
Yeah, the sequences. Yeah.